Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Tennessee Titans. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, CD, this is a passing league. I don't think you would argue that thought. But our ball game here features a couple of teams with strong offensive lines that really like to work the ground game.
And you and I have both heard from different people in the league who's saying that it's becoming a little bit of a lost art in the NFL, the ability to run the football. And we've heard from defensive coordinators who tell us that they play the pass first. That's not something you normally hear. But these two offenses, they're true to who they are. Both ranked in the top 5 in terms of rushing yardage. I think they're both going to use those massive offensive lines to try and wear down these defenses.
Looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from Indianapolis. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Here's Winston. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings that they kind of...
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Now, the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard, and
under pressure, they got him again. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd playing now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 16. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it'll be Titan football. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number? Let's say 200.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. He'll buy some time right. He finds his man complete. It's Person. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing the colleges delivered to the NFL.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now we'll throw here to his running back. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
He'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. A toss right to Henry. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. And this one is right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard. but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. The ball is free. Taylor lost it. It's picked up by the Titans. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans.
Personal foul. This is rushing the passer.
So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Titans. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the move to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary.
And Henry's hit. He lost the football.
Derrick Henry on the carry.
Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. It's their quarterback. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very... Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, that was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Let's go. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And Monty Rice there on the tackle. Well, these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 23. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tennessee offense set to go again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score.
Hey, got 3 out. Dig in, let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
A lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Meanwhile, Winston throw taken in by Pascal. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Winston. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the 2nd half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Titans offense going to get one final possession in this 1st half. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Russell Gage, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. Mac Jones leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Titans. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Colts, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments taking place in both teams' locker rooms. We're closing in on the second half. And to bring it your way, let's go back up to Indianapolis and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go. Let's do this. At their own 23-yard line.
The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. And here we get a look at Stewart. Down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. We'll check. Status when we get back. They'll run here with Taylor. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. To throw, Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They begin with Henry. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave it with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run it again with Henry. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
On any running play this called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 20-yard line.
They should have put a stamp on me.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first down, Henry. Nothing can stop him. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. And when he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
They'll look to throw here. They set up the screen for Henry. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. That catch good for only a couple.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 40. And a huge return as he'll take this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and Watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool. Have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Now Winston. And that is incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the quarter blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. He completes it to Henry. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down. Back now here on EA Sports, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a 3rd quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. Another catch for Tate. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's the jet sweep to Pascal. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. To throw is Winston. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4. A big one coming now for the kicker, Zane Gonzalez. This for a 4th quarter lead. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Again, it's Henry. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. They'll set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Person. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Person. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Sheds off the tackle, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 81 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Henry, and he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is indeed good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. It's picked up by the Titans. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Inside handoff here to Ricard. And he stopped immediately there. And here we get a look at Stewart down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll go again here with Evans. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll look to run with Evans, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. So the field goal unit is is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it. Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And that might be Titan football. It is. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
The Titans go victory formation down to a knee. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Tennessee, the win will be number 11 for them on the year.